What's Bobino? What's Bobino? Zeke Black is in the building. It's live. I know I'm trying to go live for the last few days, but I've been a little busy, tied up with the work, working hard, running around, just doing the things I have to do. There's a couple of things I like to touch up on. Definitely shout out to Push That Knife. I was actually on a platform in Clubhouse this morning. It was dope, man. It was dope. It was nice for the people. It was a good conversation. I got them on the avatar, but I got to change it because they have their own YouTube channel, which is called Push That Knife. They have a lot of great content. They're also on Clubhouse. They had a great dialogue today. And one of the dialogues they had was that I was actually in. I'm actually, had the green bean in is will Young Thug stand tall or will he fall? And there's a great conversation there. We're talking about different generations. And it's going back to the Young Thugs where now nobody's all over the place. And I think he's going to stand tall. I think that in my heart, even though he wears a dress sometimes, might throw some lipstick on, there might be something solid about it. It's going to cost him some money. Of course, it's going to cost him a couple of good dollars. But, I don't know how the state laws go when it comes to conspiracies in Atlanta, Georgia. I just know in New York State, the conspiracy laws are a little, when they put you as a kingpin, it's like 10 years and better. Because they changed the Rockefeller laws to this kingpin corruption. But if you catch a beef felony with a brick, you might get 8 years. It's weird. You know what I'm saying? But they catch you in like some type of cruel conspiracy. That's how you hear a lot of dudes getting 100 years, 60 years, 50 years in New York State for these conspiracies, which are like wiretaps. More or less, they're doing what the feds do with wiretaps and cameras and all the media outlets. So, just like the DA said, thank God for Facebook, salute, Facebook and all these other outlets, because a lot of those companies, unless they fight the federal government, the media doesn't apply to the First Amendment unless they reconstruct the Constitution. Because technology wasn't thought about in 1776 or whatever year they wrote the United States Constitution. So the only way that we're going to fix media, if they can put the First Amendment compared to the media, they will have to go to the Supreme Court most likely and fight that. To have that amended to say the media of today's. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, so I'm definitely salute. So you're just touching on that just because I heard where the DA was mentioning something about the media, and thank God for the media and Facebook, DMs, because the laws. Now, we're going to get to the get down and get ready for the get down. There's a situation that's going on with WAC 100 going at it with Jay Prince over a situation that's dealing with Hoover, Mr. Hoover, Mr. Cheesy. Him and Jay Prince is having words. They're having Taquito was popping Jada, and they're having certain words. They're conversing. I guess, from what I get, they're trying to say that Wack is trying to backdoor Larry and steal his likeness or his rights to his story or his name or likeness. Now, the part that's sort of different and weird for me is that we hear the backdoor conversation. We don't know about this unless Wack speaks upon this. That's weird. And from the recordings that I've heard through the media, through Hassan Campbell, I don't know, unless I'm not listening, I never heard Hassan Campbell play a recording with WAC 100 speaking about Hoover or Jay Prince. Could be wrong, but I didn't hear that. I didn't go that far. So the first time I really heard about what they thought was going to come out to the media conversation, because nobody really knows what WAC said to Hassan on the phone. You know what I'm saying? This, Jay Prince came at defensively. Yo, this is what's going on. I'm getting tired of this guy. I don't know if they have words in Clubhouse or not. I wasn't there for that. I don't know. 100 Entertainment, we go at it sometime. I'm happy that Reek is back. No matter what the situation is, I'm happy to see Reek is back. He did a great show. I don't know how it turned out, but he just looked with Casanova, and he ain't throw slander in the title at Casanova. So definitely, like I told you, you go knife for knife. You can go knife for knife on this media. We get it. See, we can say the worst things about each other. But you leave it there. We don't have to start digging in people's past and interviewing friends and, yo, I know you know him, because it all comes back to bite you. This is just media. This is entertainment. You can be all you can be. Understand that. Wack is being all he can be. He's going after dudes that got money, that could get him punched in the face. It's all entertainment. Like it or love it, Jay Prince is the conversation again. Even though he don't need the conversation, but he's the conversation again. You know what I'm saying? Because Wack has created this imagery. So we have to understand the business aspect of business. Now, I don't know. I seen some texts on Wack's joint where he was actually conversing about something. But now, Larry Hoover's a story. Now, people who don't know who Hoover is, they're interested and they're Googling. Oh, God, he's deleted the GDs. Oh. So now, Larry Hoover's. So now, a smart move would be now we can push the Larry Hoover agenda. Worst thing in the world, you know what I'm saying? Free Larry Hoover. So now Larry Hoover's a conversation. Kanye tried to do it with Trump, but everybody called, at that point in time, we thought Kanye was bugging when he was going to the White House. But he was trying to push that, yo, Larry Hoover. It didn't work. Larry's still locked up. You know what I'm saying? Now, we're going into the likenessness of Hope is 4-5. A couple of weeks ago, I see something on IG, him and my son going back. Now, I don't know about these going back and forth, but he said some things about my son with the Wack situation, and yo, I feel like you feel like whatever Hassan, whatever situation they was going through. From what I see came out of that was, Hocus is cool with Jay Prince, and he's looking at, because all that Wack's done for the last 2 weeks, Hocus is fucking with him. You know what I'm saying? He was cool with him. He was all right. No matter what he threw out there about Jimmy, Freaky, whoever, yeah, I'm on, this is the position I play. But Jay Prince and him built a relationship. Salute to Average Chat. It was popping. I'm gonna make a comeback, man. I'm gonna do this more often in the morning around this time. But so Hoover. So now going back into that. So he's like, yo, I see certain things. I'm distancing myself. I'm not part of that, and don't shout me out no more. And I'm falling back, and I'm sorry to my city. Well, I heard, and that's dope. That's dope. And just listen. That's dope. But you know what I'm saying? But I can't say but, because then it's gonna be negative. Just moving forward. You gotta use words like this. Moving forward, man. Win, lose, or draw, we all look for success in this media game. We love it. Sometimes we might jump on the wrong train of clout, and that wrong train will lead us to crash. Boom. Luckily, you're jumping off the plane before it crashes. But technically, we don't really know what motives Jay Prince and Wack got. We don't know if this is I don't know. But that was a good thing that you did. Like, this is the most I heard people in a long time speak about Big U, ever since he's been saying what he's been saying about Big U in Clubhouse. So was it not working for Big U? Or is it working for Big U? That's the thing that we got to be concerned about. A lot of times we get so wrapped up in street politics with the media. Again, the First Amendment does not matter to the media unless a company fights the government, like I believe Apple did. One of these companies was like, nah, you're not going to be wiretapping our products. I'm not too sure it was Apple. You could Google it. One of these countries, because that First Amendment doesn't matter. So what I'm trying to say is, let's stop thinking that you're going to get some street stuff on the internet. Y'all keep looking for something that's real on the internet. You know what I'm saying? This is a media game. The game didn't change. You got things like Wuku and the rest of them that dudes are building images for themselves for the next level. Do you guys honestly believe that Wack 100 is on a free app he's not getting paid for if he's not using it to his media advantage? But see, so a lot of y'all are still being real. Y'all seem to forget about what solid is. Shout out to East Harlem. Salute to El Barrio. Salute to the Yetas. Y'all so used to want to hear something that's real. Why would that man be on every channel in Clubhouse for? Because he's helping his... Exactly. It was the company that, because the First Amendment, these other companies is like, go. You have to take it because technology doesn't apply to the First Amendment unless they amend it. That means you have to fight. It's going to cost you a couple of $1 million, not saying fines, but those lawyers. The bigger the name, the bigger the case, the bigger the fee. That's how the game goes. Like when you catch a homicide and you're ready for trial, that lawyer tells you, I need 10, 20,000 for us to go all the way. You see more dudes go to trial with legal aids than you see with bodies, than you see dudes go to trial with paid lawyers. And the ones that go to trial with paid lawyers, and they got people in the street that love them, that's going to put a house up and remortgage their house to give them 30, 40,000, 15, 20,000 to go all the way to sit there. A trial lawyer costs money, to let y'all know that. Trial money costs money. Just let you know that. A lot of dudes that blue trial with legal aids. You know what I'm saying? 18 ABs. Don't get it twisted in the slang. You gotta be well versed here. A lot of dudes, blue trial to a body because they went to court with an A, B, and B. What do they call that? You know what I'm saying? It costs money. 18B, facts. So it's easy to go to trial when you ain't paying 30, 40,000 to be the body. Remember, the bigger the case, 18B. Thank you for putting that in the chat. The 18B was a little more aggressive than the legal way. The legal way, you call them, can't find them. The 18B might return the call, might call you for a consultation. You know what I'm saying? Yes, Harlem Double, I believe that he was very smart for taking that plea. That was smart. They're telling him at the most he can get. He has a liberal judge, okay, from 5 to 60. But the prosecution, remember, it's the recommendation of the prosecution. It's also the judge's final decision. He's going to do at least the minimum. Yep. He's going to do at least the minimum. But, that's what they said. They said it, ATB. They said it. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? He's going to do at least the minimum. But because he has a prior felony and he's not cooperating, they're going to push his points up. Now, him and his lawyer, and the district attorney office, they done had a conversation already. If he pleads out right now, what are y'all going to recommend? Well, we'll recommend 20 or 15. Then the judge might look at the PSI report. There's a lot of shit that comes to sentencing. Y'all be thinking dudes just be ratting because he had to tell because he got 4 years. But there's a lot of dudes that did more good, that's on record, than they did negative. Community service, donating to charities, speaking to the kids, hiring people, creating businesses. A lot of that shit play a part in your PSI report. But a lot of you guys that don't know the PSI report, that's what make or break you when it comes to pleading out the cases. So when you speak to these little fake internet lawyers, there's a lot that come with your sentencing. Y'all keep listening to these jailhouse niggas that's reading shit. Mel Matrix ain't get silver served because out of all the wiretaps they heard, most of that shit is, you're a rapper. You're really trying to get into music. Anything you did was to the betterment, not of the game, but of this music shit you're trying to do. You are a rapper. We know you a gang member. We don't care about that. Your gang is, because all these blood Crips gangs in New York, they're not organized like the mob. We don't control sanitation. We don't affect them. We do not affect them in no aspect. Anything that's public in the public eye. We don't control garbage. We don't control cement. We don't control construction. We don't control nothing. So it's just some bunch of dudes in the street that's killing each other. Now, if we was a little bit more organized like the mafia, controlling unions, things that, you know what I'm saying? We don't affect the people. Oh, y'all just killing each other. All right, as long as you ain't smoking nothing, you're good. Then remember, this is how these judges look at it. Because most of you dudes that have been in jail, that caught a felony, that copped out, or even blue trial, if you never had a PSI report, you lying. You never been in jail before, bro. You know what I'm saying? When you get sentenced, they take a PSI report. That is up to the judge in the feds. The state, they might just go by the guidelines. They get 80 30 25, 80 30 25. The state is different. New York State is different. Them judges are not living. You know what I'm saying? If your minimum, if your maximum says 80 30 25, you're gonna get 80 30 25. You might get a judge that might feel sorry for you and go, you know what? I give him a 10 to 20 instead of the maximum. I'm gonna give him life. Now, because you know why, Quinn? Because there's no First Amendment against digital, the media. As crazy as it sounds. Because these same rap lyrics is on vinyl records they don't use against dudes. Now you see? The music that dudes make that they actually put out in the public eye is copyrighted music that's actually gets signed, except unless you're doing white label. But since you're using this digital thing, the digital does not contribute to the First Amendment. That's what it is. The digital has, like, you can put a record out, but if you don't go through a streaming service or YouTube, you're still under the first, because most of the stuff that we see is copyrighted music, even though we see it with the digital stuff, but that's a different format. Everything else is protected under the First Amendment. These record labels in the early fucking 40s made sure that whatever they're doing is used under the First Amendment. Then you got this digital thing that's another society. And this is why they allow us to act a fool online and talk crazy, because there's no protection here. That's not under the First Amendment Act. I'm not a lawyer. It's just making common sense, right? What's the difference between what DMX said? What's the difference between what DMX said on his first album compared to what Bobby Shmurda said on his hottest video? You know what I'm saying? Two different avenues. He came out under something that's protected under the First Amendment. Crazy as it sounds. The DA said, I love the internet because it's not protected under the First Amendment. So even though their music, because you gotta have people, oh, you know what he's talking about, because they got it on Spotify. All these rappers we're speaking about, when Jay-Z talks about streets is watching and all this other stuff, that's street shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's protected under the First Amendment. That lane of music. The digital shit, that's what she said. One thing I heard, my man said, yo, son, it's crazy. The DA said, yo, I love these platforms because they're not protected under the First Amendment, right? Now, you might go, well, Jay-Z's first album's on Spotify. But his original, when the music first came out, it was under the First Amendment Act where these dudes added out. And that's what Jane was trying to fight now, Rock Nation, where they're trying to put, yo, stop using these dudes' lyrics against them. Because a lot of these guys are not coming out on vinyl no more. They're not coming out through traditional radio. They're coming out through the media. SoundCloud, datpiff.com, Facebook, YouTube. Unprotected music. Unprotected lanes. Unless you came out on a... You know what I'm saying? I don't know if they wanted to indict him for that. But if they did, he was protected under the First Amendment rights of that time. Because those record labels, it's under that protection. Media is different. And if I jump off the roof of the porch and I start talking this crazy shit online, for some reason, I'm not protected. It's crazy to sound. But if I go through a traditional MSNBC, CBS, those are traditional lanes. That's what it boils down to. So, you know, with Young Thug and them, I'm not in Atlanta. I don't know the Atlanta laws. But one thing I do say is that Whatever they talking about, I don't know. Whatever their slangs they use, I don't know. Only these guys know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? So you understand what I'm saying? So when you speak to these jailhouse lawyers, or you speaking to these dudes that there's certain things that's protected under the First Amendment. The FCC job is to monitor, right? What they put in the media, right? Have you seen the FCC fuck with anybody on YouTube? Have you seen the FCC fuck with anybody on Deadpool.com, Twitch? There's things that I can't say on CBS that I can say on YouTube. Let's talk about that for all you niggas. For all you new dudes that talk about let's talk about that. There's things I can say on YouTube that I can't say on Hot 97. For me to become a personality on Hot 97, I would have to take a test and be certified by the FCC. That's why you got mixed DJs, then you got dudes that actually talk on the mic. Now the DJs that mix and talk on the mic is because they took that test. My cousin taught me that because my cousin was on the radio. He had to take that FCC test. You know what I'm talking about, to get on the radio. Shout out to DJ Passion, my cousin Passion. He had to take a test. There's certain words you can't use. The FCC monitors TV, but they don't monitor YouTube. The only way you get zapped on YouTube is if you violate certain YouTube rules. Am I right? Or you disrespect somebody and they strike their page, or they get a lawyer to take it down. It's two different lanes. Law-wise, you dudes need to learn the real law. Stop listening. You know what I'm saying? Seriously speaking, seriously. So you want to say to youth, you can tell your life story and all this shit, but do it through a label first. Yeah, the FCC don't monitor this. There's words that's being said on here that the FCC don't monitor. The only thing YouTube care about is the people that does the commercials. They can't be attached to a certain type of content. You can't be a company that sells baby formula and you got somebody talking about certain trends, certain genders, certain, you know what I'm saying? But believe me, there's a lane for the Klan here somewhere. There's a lane for everything. This is just information that you guys are getting. Hit the like button. I'm gonna say hit the like button because this is the difference. You see what they do with the drill rappers in the Bronx, the young boys? The young boys, they going straight to media. They're going straight to the media. So these crimes they're speaking about are not protected. Let's imagine you K-Fly and you cause a buzz in the street with mixtapes and now Atlanta record. Now you're going through all media outlets, but you're going to a record label that's under the protection of the First Amendment. So that's what we need to speak about, the First Amendment. What's getting dudes caught up? Twitter. Twitter's not protected under the First Amendment rights. No freedom of speech. They can ban you. Look at Trump. Trump's banned on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? And probably some other media outlets. You gotta be well versed there, man. A lot of times you'll be well versed. You gotta understand that a lot of things that these dudes is rapping about is a lot of the music is old music. The crimes that they're speaking about in these songs are old crimes that they're putting with the new music. Oh, whoa, it's not protected. A lot of the music they putting out are not through the label. A lot of these are internet mixtapes they putting out. Internet singles, putting extra money in their pocket. When was the last time we see Drake do something without going through Apple? Future. The last time we see him do a project without going through anything that's protected. You know what I'm saying? Anything. And you got dudes that, you know, it happens. Now somebody's gonna go, oh, you always talking about it. I say, you're on Spotify. Yo, they're on Spotify now. But they when they came out under, they were signed to something that's protected under the First Amendment rights. We have not, listen. You see, because we know who beat that. Remember Luke Skywalker? Remember Luke? Uncle Luke? He went all the way, and he actually won, I believe. But what he had to do, he had to go all the way for that. And that's when hip-hop basically was protected under. Yeah, was protected under that. Hit that like buttons up, man. Remember Luke? Luke fought the government. And he, remember that? And he was like, nah, there wasn't no media back there. Okay, this is protected, copyrighted music, boom. And you know what I'm saying? He beat them with the freedom of speech, because that's protected. The media is not. You come directly to the media, or you do anything that's not protected under the First Amendment rights, you're done. You're done. They're going to use that against you. So yeah, Young Thug is popping. But there's a lot of music he put out that didn't come through whatever record label he signed to. There's a lot of features he did with dudes that's not protected under these rights. Know your rights. In America, you got to know the law and understand your rights. Yeah. Understand your rights. So like I told you, I don't know what Young Thug is talking about. But hopefully he spent a little $200,000. Let me get my look, because I don't know, you know what I'm saying? There's a minimum. I don't know about all that. One thing I know is the only way he's not going to tell is if he's willing to do at least 10 summers. Like Casanova, I'm willing to give them niggas 15 years out of my life. They're going to make a recommendation. Now, the DA might go 20 years or 30 years. The judge might sit there and go, nah, but he did a lot for the community, even though he was a part of a gang. But his gang is they just killing each other. It's not like they're killing businessmen. They're not killing a CEO. They're not shaking down Wall Street executives. They're just killing each other. So he killed another criminal, or he's. But your lawyer has to be well versed. You're gonna go to jail. You got caught up, whatever. But it may not be that bad. He may not get what A.R. Rab got. A.R. Rab shit had a lot of other shit that was connected to his shit that was crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yep, exactly. Yep, exactly. That was, and that's they tried to shoot. They tried to shoot at what he was putting out there. What happened? He beat that shit, and it educated those. Remember when they took Ice-T album, the cop killer shit off the market? Boom. They said he was trying to promote violence, all that. And that's when the labels really. That's when the labels really started getting on the parental parent shit, NWA shit. Now you have to have a clean record and a dirty record. Remember when they started shipping out the dirty version of a record, and they had radio-friendly records. Remember those days? So you can play Share the Calm without the curses. You can play F the Police without the curses. They started doing that with the music, because at one point in time, they would just send out one record. Then they had the curses, and they had the non-curses. But they had to advise you. That First Amendment shit mean a lot. Yeah. Yeah. That's when the label started, because you could buy 2 records. You could buy the curse. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He just couldn't shut up. Hit the like button. We ain't got to donate $1. Shout out to Southern Belle who pushed me to do this month. Shout out to Southern Belle. She at work making things happen. You know, I love my wife, St. Louis, West Side St. Louis. I never met in my life here that state promote coming. You know what I'm saying? These guys are. So we just pray that whatever you're put out that's not protected. We're going to say, you know, we're going to use the word protected under the First Amendment. I pray for you dudes. Start deleting shit, start getting rid of shit, anything that's not protected. You can phrase something that's protected. Bobby Smurder. They go, oh, but Bobby Smurder. They go, Bobby Smurder, but Bobby Smurder. Bobby Smurder, when he did that video, he wasn't signed to a record label. He was just rhyming with a video camera outside dancing. It blew, it went viral. The introduction wasn't like he was signed to Epic Records and yo, we're gonna shoot a video in the middle of Brownsville. So he couldn't get around whatever they was looking for in his lyrics because it wasn't protected under the First Amendment. Oh, Ziggy, that's a constitutional buff. How would you know? This is why they doing what they doing. They. Now this is the funny part I'm about to tell you, right? Young Thug is signed to a record label. Why they not going to 300 Entertainment going, we took his music from 300 Entertainment, his masters, and we listened to all his music. They're saying they got, anything they got was from the internet. a second. This is crazy, man. Yeah, back to the lab. That got a little spooky. But yeah, I got a little spooky there. You know what I'm saying? So now, let's get that like button. Let's get them like buttons up. So what they're gonna say? They're gonna go, oh, you know what he's talking about. They're gonna go after anything he's done that's unprotected. Until these lawyers come together, these media outlets, and fight the federal government, your lawyer has to become well versed. A lot of you dudes, you're listening to the wrong internet niggas. You listen to, not saying that internet niggas, you got these fake lawyers, you got these fake, I don't give a fuck how many times. I sat in the courtroom many times as a defendant. I only went to one trial where I sat in the courtroom and watched my man blow trial. DAs play a dirty game because they're well versed. Closing the arguments at a trial is like watching a soap opera. If you've ever been to a trial, those DAs is the dirtiest. They make people cry. They had people crying over a guy who got caught with crack in the car. You know what I'm saying? He didn't even get to the destination and had people crying. His name was D.A. Klein in Albany, New York, before the new guy took over, Soros. It was David Klein. My man went to trial. You know what I'm saying? Had him crying. It wasn't even about he got caught with drugs. We're going to convict him. This man brought drugs to your community to kill your kids. You're going to let this man go? He ain't smoked nothing. Look at him. He's not even taking his case serious. They came back 2 hours later, guilty. You ever have a well-versed lawyer? If your lawyer's not well-versed, shout out to Albany, New York. Y'all know, the judge was Breslin. Y'all know Breslin was hang 'em high Breslin. Anything that blow trial in his courtroom go all the way to the mountains, to the roof. Y'all do, shout out to everything that Allah Born, man. My man Born, he blew trial. You gotta be well-versed, man. And he just got caught with guns in the car. They gonna use what they can use against you, but this is what you're paying your lawyer for. Listen, man. If you're not ready to do at least 4 or 5 summons for any crimes you actually did, then you're gonna go all the way and play with them and play on a dirty cop. What's that thing? What's that thing you should always say before? Get them likes. I know you niggas is watching, man. What's that thing? You look for a loophole, a dirty cop, a loophole, a mistake you to read me my rights. You look for something that's gonna get you nowhere. We've seen it. Who's gonna say they never seen it? We seen this. Make sure, hold on, and make sure you drizzle that really in bed with the. Yeah, listen, man. I got my defendant. He wanted to cop out. What's the least you can get him? We're gonna be well versed. He have cop out to this, and that's what you got to do. Now you feel you're not ready to do 4 or 5 summers, then you're gonna spend that $200,000 and play on the luck of the jury. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times in these cases now, because they hate eyewitnesses, they hate the fact that they have to depend on somebody, and it's costing them money to have somebody sit on the stand. It's costing them money. So they're using the internet because it doesn't cost them, and it's your words. That's the whole thing. It's your words. Is that you? Is that your voice? Yes. You said shoot him. You can't get around your words. They don't even care about the witnesses no more. It costs too much money. Witness protection costs. That's a budget that the federal government has to come up with for people that's going to inform on people when it comes to federal cases. Just imagine the streets. You heard what she said? I love the internet. It's safe. Let me tell you something. How much money are they spending on informants in this case? Y'all need to ask that. They don't even care about exactly his words. He was on IG after he got shot. This is what he said. Boom, boom, boom. All they're going to do is snatch somebody up who can tell them what the slang is. What does 2 footballs mean? That means 2 bags of weed. What does the basketball mean? Oh, that's a kilo of cocaine. What does such and such mean? Oh, what does Peter roll mean? That mean, you know what I'm saying? Oh, okay. So you're well versed. Understand what you're getting into. Understand that it's a dirty game when it comes to the law because they have to follow certain rules. Remember, these laws that was signed, that was created before 1980. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them got amended afterwards. I don't know about 6ix9ine shit. I could care less about that. He didn't see himself doing 10 summers. Nobody in his case got baked except like 2 of them that he actually was involved with. You know what I'm saying? Everything else was based off of the first indictment. You know who really got baked in his case? You know what I'm saying? Exactly. They sit somebody down and he sits and breaks the story down. Yo, this is what that means. That's what that, okay, say no more. So that's what, so on the phone, when he goes, yo, I need 2 footballs and a basketball, he meant such and such, and that's it. Got you. Your words. Your words. But now, because of the internet, dudes will argue about gang lingo, right? So now somebody will argue all day. What does more or less mean? Such and such now, homie. You wrong, homie. Da, 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 da. So now they go, well, y'all broke it down in that chat that day when y'all was arguing, number 8 months ago on the Real Damu's page on Facebook. Those are your words. You niggas gotta be smart. Stop going on platforms if you're a street nigga and you're following rules that's not protected by the First Amendment. Think about this. Can K-Flock, no shout out to K-Flock, but can K-Flock, can K-Flock perform on national TV? Oh, we're gonna see K-Flock on national TV. They're gonna have to beep every word. Beep, 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 beep. By the time we finish listening, he could perform. But by the time we finish listening to K-Flock, you're like, what the fuck you had him up there for? Not because he has bad lyrics, you can't play that shit over the air. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? But on YouTube, you can. Because there's no protections there. Anything that's not protected is like free. Like Sirius Radio, it's free, it's a free lane, but it's not protected. Like on Sirius Radio, you could curse all day. Fuck that, your mother this, suck this, suck that. I'm real righteous. You can do that on Sirius, but you can't do that on Hot 97, 105.1, iHeart Radio. Exactly. So we're talking about this to let you buffs know that the government is saving money when you do anything that's not protected under the First Amendment. And she actually blew it up. But y'all, a lot of you dudes, y'all just take it in and go, no. Anything you do that's not protected under the First Amendment rights is open season. You understand there's a difference in New York State than St. Louis? St. Louis is a gun state. So if I smoke somebody and it looks like self-defense, I'm going to beat the body and the gun if I ain't got a felony. New York State, you still going to jail for the gun. You know what I'm saying? Let's say I'm going to be more well-versed. Let's say I got a gun, right? Gun charge. A gun. Legal gun, no felonies. I smoke somebody's boots. I beat the body, I'm going to beat the gun. No record. New York State, no record. I got a gun. But since New York State's not a gun state, and I smoke somebody's boots, protecting myself. They don't have self-defense laws, but common sense is common sense. And the jury might go, well, he's trying to protect himself with a well-versed lawyer. You still don't blow child to the gun. I know a bunch of dudes that beat bodies, beat the body, beat the 25. But when you go to trial for one, what they do in New York State is grimy. They put all the charges as one. They don't separate the charges. So a lot of times, if you have a body, they hit you with the body and the gun. That means you're forced to go all the way. Now, if they separate the case, the body, and the gun, you can cop out to the gun. Give me that shit, you know what I'm saying? But you gotta prove I killed him. But New York State don't do that. unless you have prior charges. You know what I'm saying? This is New York State for you. I noticed going to jail, being in the penitentiary, and sitting around, boom. They don't separate the charges. Like most states don't, but sometimes they don't. They'll just go murder second degree, possession of a weapon, and what are those degrees, and such, and so now they force your hand to go all the way. Now, it's fucked up to say this. The maximum for the body is 25 to life unless you have premeditated murder. They have to prove that, right? So second degree, depraved of difference. Most of those bodies are depraved of difference. Some might be intentional, second degree. Depends on how they classify, right? But you still got the gun charge. That's still part of your case. Now here go the phony shit that they do. I mean, this is pure. This is for those that have been through it. They'll offer you 25 to life. Let's get all three out the way. Gun, body, bone. The maximum is 25 years if you blow trap. But you take this body right now, we'll give you 10. Or we'll drop this down to manslaughter second degree, we'll give you 15. Depends on your record, we give you 20, but we'll throw the gun out. So now you go, man, I might as well go all the way now. I might as well go all the way. Your maximum was 25 years on all three counts. Let's say 2 counts. Murder in the second degree, possession of a weapon. Those are the 2 charges you have. The maximum you're going to get when you blow is 25 years. They're not giving you extra. Only place that charges you for everything is fucking Schenectady, New York. You get caught with a body, they sentence you for the body, the gun, and some shit called, what's that? Something about endangering the people. Some shit like when you're shooting a block up, you're endangering the people. Some shit that they call that charge. It's like 3 of them. So that's why they be giving niggas like 50 years in Schenectady. But most places, they only give you 25. You beat the body. Listen, we go first here. You beat the body, the homicide, right? But you blow to the gun. So you're like, well, how bad can it be? They offered me 25 for all 3. If I blew right now, I get 25. They come back with the maximum for the gun. You know what the maximum for the gun is? 15 years. You know what I'm saying? You might as well blew child to the body. So, but now, if you have a paid lawyer, you done paid somebody close to $100,000 to still get you 15 years. The math has to add up. You have to be smart. You have to be smart when the math adds up. A lot of these dudes go to trial and get their boots rocked. A lot of dudes really do be in self-defense situations. Now, staying on topic. Shout out to Washington Jackets in the building. Yeah, Clubhouse is definitely next. There's a lot because in Clubhouse you can speak freely. So do not get it twisted. There's things being said on Clubhouse that's going to YouTube now. These are all media things. A lot of guys that's speaking on Clubhouse, they're not copyrighted. See, Whack 100 comes from a machine that's protected under the First Amendment. So a lot of shit that he be talking about and running around and all that shit he talking about, he can say is all entertainment purposes because I'm signed to or I'm involved with physically with a company that's protected under the First Amendment laws. So this shit I'm talking about is pure entertainment. Y'all take it for what it is. But who else is? A lot of these dudes ain't copyrighted protected. They just get on, yo, but Whack, you said this. And but I can tell you some real shit, Whack. I was there when such and such got booked, word. Not saying that Whack is trying to set dudes up. Gotta be smart here. At the end of the day, Whack is a part of an engine that's protected under the First Amendment. Yeah, I was just talking shit. It's just like a gun state, right? Oh, Cinco know what he's talking about. Yeah. Oh, the gun state. You're protected in the state of Missouri with no felonies with a gun. I can walk around with a gun without a felony in my pocket. New York State don't have gun protections like that for the civilians. So if I go to the store with a gun, and I go in the store and come out, and I get jumped on by the police, I got something that's gonna give me at least 3 to 5, a 2.5 to 7, depending on my record. Exactly. And where they're saying it at, and who you're talking to, and who you're conversing with. Understand that certain dudes are protected under the First Amendment. That's what they tell you, right? With the guns, right? If you have a gun license in Mississippi, do not come to New York with that gun, because there's no laws that's okaying you, niggas. That's why a lot of dudes be coming to JFK and LaGuardia getting caught with those guns, booking them. They tell you, don't come in this state with no guns. This is not a gun state. I could go from here to Arkansas with a gun. If I don't have a gun, but if I had a gun and I would go to the state of Arkansas, I can physically go to Arkansas. From one gun state to another gun state, show my license. These are gun states. You got to move around and travel around. If you're going to be well versed on here, be well versed. There's things that's protected under certain things. Whack 100 is protected under the First Amendment rights because he's part of an engine that's protected under the First Amendment rights. And all he got to say is, all I'm talking about is entertainment. No matter how many DMs, inboxes, this is all for this is all under some entertainment shit. Unless he do some shit and somebody die. It's just logical. But you got to know, everybody's not logical. You know, a lot of dudes they think they know. They think they know. Stop being in the know and learn something. Or you think a lot of us didn't go to jail, we didn't realize that the things that we was doing wasn't protected under no laws? What did they tell you? They read you your Miranda rights for a reason. They warn you before you run your mouth. You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say will be used against you. So once he reads you your rights, which is normally before you get to the police station, once you sit in that police car, you are no longer a free man. Once they get the cuffs on you, before you get in the car, decide this is what they're supposed to do before you even get to the police station. That's the law. The law is that they don't wait till they get to the police station to read you your rights. They may read your Miranda rights before you start writing the statement again, but they will always say, I read him his rights before he got in the police car. You have the right to remain silent. Boom, boom, boom. Get to the police station where they go, would you like to say anything to us? You ask for a lawyer. I want to see my lawyer. You don't have a lawyer? Get me a legal aid. You got to see a judge. Listen to me. Because to see your actual your first appearance in court, your arraignment, you don't need a lawyer for that. They got a lawyer for that. They have a lawyer for arraignment court. You sit there, I ain't talking to nobody, that's why I get a lawyer. And then that's when you start working your due diligence, hollering at your people, seeing what they can do, and then you have to find a lawyer. If you go back to court again without a lawyer, the judge will say, work on getting a lawyer the next time you come back here. But a lot of you dudes, y'all can't wait to tell a story. Y'all can't wait to implicate yourselves. Y'all can't wait. Y'all just can't wait. Even if you had an alibi, you don't tell them niggas that day one. You tell your lawyer that. That's what you tell your lawyer. Yo, listen, man, I was at Lisa's house. Go contact Lisa, and Lisa's supposed to do such and such, such and such, such and such, and get her to write an affidavit. Boom. That's the alibi. You call her down as a witness. But you niggas can't wait. They even brag at the when they write your own statements. And what they always wind up doing to you dudes is they get the witnesses, just like Harlem Double said. They shaky, we don't trust them, they change the stories. So what they turn the trial into, your words. So what they do is they dig into who you are, they dig into your past. Boom. And then they create this character of you. Definitely, shout out to 050 trying to bring movement. They create this character of you. Charleston White is protected because he signed into something. If you notice something with Charleston White, he's on a lot of major platforms. And I know a lot of major platforms are not going to allow him to go on these platforms knowing the shit that he be saying. He signed to something that's protected under the First Amendment rights, and that's why he always say the shit that he say. No, this is all entertainment. I just like to get people rattled. He signed under something that's protected, and this is how he's getting his money, bro. He says it every time. He said it, but I was arguing when they was going back and forth. But I was up there disagreeing, but he said it. But we don't listen to it, Harlem Double. We don't listen. We just so busy catching everything else. He says it. I work for a company. These dudes be paying me. I'm part of these organizations that's protected under the First Amendment rights. And as long at the end of all his dialogue, he goes, nah, this is all entertainment. He's protecting his words. He's protecting his words. Because he's under a machine. I work for a company. I'm pretty sure when he was talking crazy, the police and then notified him. Shout out to Honcho in the building. I'm pretty sure 911 didn't hit him up, notified him. I'm pretty sure that, party people. I'm pretty sure, aren't you? Aren't you sure? But now I work for a company, so entertainment. You heard what I said on that tape, entertainment, right? Okay, yeah, I'm protected under the First Amendment laws because I work for this media company. I work for that media company. Why do you think a lot of dudes that sign the Rock Nation, they're part of a legal entity when it comes to boom? Your rights is different now. So now, only thing Rock Nation is telling you is don't make no music with nobody that's not consistent with what we're doing. So you might say some shit that's not protected, and boom, they got you. A lot of these, yo, I'm looking out for my man. Now we gotta do this shit under this umbrella. It's gonna cost you $100,000. What happened there? You know what I'm saying? And that's, you know, definitely. Shout out to the 050 shoot. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to be well versed to be smart here. There's platforms that's dope. Check out 050 trying to bring the movement. Check out my man G'd Up Quinn. He's in the chat. Push That Knife. They on Clubhouse. But you gotta understand, you gotta be protected. Even I gotta watch the shit that I say, because I'm not signed to no something that's protected by the First Amendment. Like I said, Young Thug was under the label, right? Doing entertainment. That's protected, right? But a lot of music that he did, a lot of these videos, YouTube shit that he be talking shit on with 30 niggas in the back, that's not protected. That's not protected. Understand, it's not protected. It's not like he's doing it with the label. Yeah, it's a damn entertainment. We doing it. I'm in the studio with such and such. It's because everything is paperwork. What they tell you in America is a paperwork game. Stop thinking you're gonna do business and not have the paperwork. So now you gotta prove. Nah, that was a studio session. Look, he was in the studio. That was all entertainment period. He was talking shit because boom, they're just trying to get the record sales. This is all paperwork. It's legal. It's all paperwork. You prove the paperwork. Nah, he wasn't just talking out his ass with 2 cups of lean and all this shit. This is all promotional purpose for the label. We paid him $30,000 for this advertisement. That came out of his budget. That clip is purely copyrighted stuff. First Amendment. Nah, don't take that shit serious. But as soon as you do some shit that's not under that, they got you. Oh, it's not protected. It's not protected. They do their due diligence before they snatch you up. Okay, that tweet he wrote about son getting punched in the face. You know what I'm saying? They do the tweet and they start hitting the tweets up. They start doing this. Not protected. That's why people like Star, Hassan Campbell, and a lot of other, we would call them shock jocks, they win because they go off of their opinions and just what they think. They don't go off of what they believe is facts, even though they might even know it's facts. They might get inboxes. They might get, what? But they have to make the people talk. It's just content. We're going to talk some shit. We out of here. There's no facts to this. They can't use my content as facts. Vlad, good example, right? Vlad interviews these guys. They say they use Vlad's interviews. And actually, Vlad's a part of the media, right? But those interviews he's doing with Vlad, that Vlad TV is not protected under the First Amendment rights. So him as a person, whatever he does with the media, he's got to go. But this little YouTube thing I'm doing has nothing to do with my other media outlets that I'm using that I can protect. Because do you really think these other, do you think Huffington or Huntington wants to have an interview with Young Buck speaking about drive-bys in Tennessee? Do you think the New York Post cares about AR Rab in Philadelphia? These media outlets, CNBC, these major platforms. So you got to go where there's a lane for you unprotected niggas. Y'all can talk all the street shit you want. Y'all can curse. Y'all can say you're blowing smoke. You can smoke all the weed you want. This shit ain't protected. You know what I'm saying? So any platform that you go on that's not protected, they got you. Academics is a part of the Associated Press at this point. He's done media. There's a machine behind him, even though he may not want to admit it, but there's a machine behind him that allows him to do what he do and him not get in trouble. Get me to... Give me the 45 likes, man. I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Give me the 45 likes, man. Because we here, y'all watching, y'all learning something. So for all you up and coming rappers, watch what you say. That's unprotected. If you're going to run around with a gun and not have a gun license, your fault. Why would you run around with a stolen gun in a gun state? You an idiot for that. Just go buy a gun if you ain't got a felony. You got to be smart here. You got to be well-versed. You got to be well-versed. A lot of dudes just be talking, and you try to put the facts together. You can't put facts together with something that you're not around. You don't know what's going on. You can't say this is what really happened. You ain't there. You're not there to see it. And that's what's getting these niggas fucked up. How you got shot for? You should never got shot. You good. I don't know why you got shot for. Now you back, you here. What's your jacket? I don't know what's going on, man, but you know what I'm saying? Let's stay to the content, bro. If that's you, let's stay to the content. This is going someplace else. Yeah, stay to the content, bro. I got nothing to do, again, what goes on other platforms. This is Zeke Black, his page. I have nothing to do with it. But do I think he's going to flip? With the right lawyer, and in this day and age, having well-versed lawyers, he may not flip. It's going to cost him, though. It's going to cost him a dollar. Like Casanova. It's going to cost him to get a dime, 15 years. But you know what? He's going to see his daughter again, bro. Free. He's going to get to see his daughter. He's going to miss a lot of years in his daughter's life physically, but at least he's going to come home to his daughter. We have to allow that man that. We got to be proud of that man for that. We're allowing that man, he's going to come home to see his daughter. It's the difference between 15 years and 30 years. Let's stop looking at real nigga shit and a nigga that's being solid. You know what happened? Casanova had to stop being a real nigga and realize it's about being solid to my family, to my daughter. He got caught up being in communication, still being in the mix. That's his situation. I wasn't there for that. I'm not gonna sit there and trash it because I've probably been the same way too. Fucking with my homies, hollering at my niggas up north, making phone calls to them if I was in a position like him. So I can't take that from him. It's not for me to judge. Now, because, again, Mr. Miller, a lot of music that these guys are making are not through the label. It's straight to YouTube. So it's not protected. You have to make protected music. You go through the label, let the label press the button. You don't press the button, you let the label press the button. They hit all the media outlets. It didn't come from me. It came from John Smith at Universal Offices. He the one that pressed for all the media outlets. When you're pressing the button, it's not protected. You see what Drake just said? He's suing. Some shit he's just doing. I don't know if he's suing. Drake is protected. You do white label shit, you're not protected. Nothing. That's how the dudes is getting zapped. We thinking that, yo, these niggas is popping. Then he might do a collab with a nigga in the street and thinking, yo, this shit is popping because it's popping on YouTube, it's popping on Spotify and Pandora, but it's non-protected music. So they using that. Oh, say through the label, we don't see no Warner Brothers, we don't see no Interscope, we don't see Empire, we don't see such and such media company that's a legal company. You're definitely not protected. That's why most independent labels wind up signing a subcontract with a major label. You know what I'm saying? They get distribution from these majors. Or they'll find a legal entity that has First Amendment rights, that's a distribution company that's going to distribute or press the buttons that they need to press. So, prime example, I signed to Rock Nation, right? Warehouse Music. Warehouse Music, when you press the button, who's pressing the button for Warehouse Music? Somebody at Rock Nation. And they're probably telling their artists, don't do nothing stupid that's not under this. Y'all can check. Read the First Amendment does not apply to this media technology shit. There's not, FCC's not going to strike me for all the curses I said right now. If I went on NBC, they're gonna zap them for $500,000, $1 million. You had them up there cursing. They're gonna have to pause it like 5 minutes and press buttons. The way of the world of technology. So for all you young boys that's listening, anything that you're doing now that's popping, do it under something that's protected under the First Amendment rights. Don't even talk crazy. The more of the story is don't talk crazy. If you notice, even with K Flock, a lot of his most dangerous music came out when he signed to whatever management company he signed to. They must be a real management company, not Homeboy Shopping Network, not the fish fry and I'm your manager. These dudes are signed to like William Morris, real agencies that's protected. Rock Nation Management, protected. I'm not know if K Flock signed to all that, but they're signing themselves to real companies, LLCs, corporation companies. And they'll be telling the artists what to do and what not to do and what to push and what not to push. Because for all that, the lock should have been locked up. You know what I'm saying? After the second album, DMX, you know what I'm saying? Exactly, not Leon and Tito management. That's a fact. That's he's not protected. That's your homeboy from the bike shop. But because of this internet and they going, nah, they don't zap us. You can go on YouTube and say anything. You can go on Spotify and play the curses. You can go on cities. It's more independent, but there's no protection unless you're under the protection. And that's the power of the record label. That's why the record label still has power, party people, because unless you're a rapper like that kid from Chicago, the one that won the 5 Grammys on SoundCloud who doesn't curse, you're going to win. This show turns to the First Amendment. We're going to be clear. We're going to be clear as day on this. We're going to be clear. We're going to be well versed. Shout out to Guards of King. Shout out to Iced Out, Push That Knife, Tiff, Junior. Shout out to my man P. He has a new page on Clubhouse. They keep playing games with his page. This is a time where we really have to pay attention to the wording and the well versed. A legal aid lawyer, you have to train them to tell them what you want to say. Like I told you, a lot of dudes, when they read you your Miranda rights, y'all be so nervous and scared and all over the place. Y'all begin to talk. Even if you don't snitch, you're saying, yeah, I was down the block when that happened, but I wasn't. Stupid shit like that. Just don't say nothing. Let your lawyer. Bingo. If I play a rap song, it's protected under the copyright laws. If you make a beat in your house right now and I rap over it, somebody take the beat in the rap, it's not copyrighted. Unless I can prove I made this beat legally, you win it. You gotta be under a machine. Rock Nation, for music, at one point, I don't know what they're doing now, they was under Atlantic Records for distribution. I don't know what they're doing now when it came to distribution because they don't press that much vinyl nowadays. Nowadays, they're touching up CDs for the mixes, the USBs and all this other technology-wise. But Rock Nation was doing distribution through Atlantic Records. That's our protection. These niggas. So anything that we're putting out to our corners and sidewalks and all this other shit is all protected under the First Amendment rights as an art under music. You have to follow a chain of command. A lot of you niggas that's going with the flow because you get a million views and think you're popping. Some of these million views that y'all get don't get y'all niggas nowhere. You can't take that shit to CBS. You know what I'm saying? You can't sit down with somebody who could really have you articulate some of this shit that you're putting out there. How can we articulate this where nobody gets caught up? Because there's a lot of First Amendment things that's getting caught up here. I mean, you got a guy admitting he got shot in the face by such and such and such and such. This is really a real crime. Like this, we're not talking about some shit where he said an interview on Atlantic Records on 105.1. You're just making your rebuttal through a legal entity. This is just some freestyle shit that you did and you won, and that's why dudes don't take dudes serious. There's multiple people that got millions of 2,000, 20,000 views. They supposed to be at least on Spotify getting Joe Rogan money. We can't blame academics at this point because academics did what he had to do, and now he's protected under the First Amendment rights. That's why he's so freely. What did he do? He go on Twitch and talk mad shit. And then when they come at him, yo, you're instigating, man. You don't think the feds came at him about anything that happens in Chicago? Yes. Fly Mike's in the building. Oh, nah, that's all entertainment purposes. I work for, this is the company, the media company that's behind me. Oh, they might be taking 30% of my profits or 20% of my profits, but that's what it is. So now we're going to Casanova. He copped out because he wanted to see his daughter graduate. By the time he get out of jail, his daughter probably be graduating college, and he could be in her life, bro. Now it's a choice he made, man. It has nothing to be. This one has nothing to do to be disrespectful. It's not a good or a bad thing. It's life. He got caught up in something like most of us do, and he's willing to deal with the consequences to see his daughter 20 years down the line. He's not being selfish. He could take it all away and get the rest of his life in jail. At least he get to go with his grandkids. You know what I'm saying? Remember, that First Amendment and all the other shit was written in the 1700s, 1800s, all that shit. They have to revise it to today's technology. If they don't advise it to today's technology, then dudes gonna keep getting caught up. You know what I'm saying? You gotta make your choice. You have to pick what lane. You gotta pick your demon. Some both cases ain't worth fighting. Am I willing to do 50 years? But I could do 10 out this shit, be home. He been down 2-3 summers already. Okay, I'm shorties. I'm gonna do 6 more summers, be in a halfway house, and I'm back. Casanova ain't even a rapper. He's not even a real rapper. But believe me, if he get 10 summers, he gonna write 3 albums in there, and the streets is gonna love him because he didn't tell. Because that's just the code of the streets. And he gonna come out with this airplane and Rock Nation behind him, and they gonna go, this might have been the most realest shit you did in your life. He's not doing it for the record label. He's just not being selfish to his daughter. He's realizing that now. He's realizing that as he's sitting in the penitentiary. He stood tall. Like dudes thought he was gonna tell and give up and no, his daughter and his girl. Nah, he know the money. Go to lawyer telling them, I'm going to talk to the DA. You ain't got to tell. Yo, because a lot of times those cases are based off the recommendation of the DA and your PSI. So the DA might go get that nigga 50 years. Judge reads your PSI. Remember, one thing that worked out for him in his favor, the mayor of New York City when he was borough president of Brooklyn, Casanova did a lot of community service for him. A letter from the mayor is a lot of power. Look at Fat Cat Nichols. I don't know how the fuck he made his parole board. How he made parole when he's in jail for killing his parole officer. What was Fat Cat? Why is Fat Cat Nichols did all that time in jail for in the state? Conspiracy to kill his PO. So how does New York State parole release him? He gonna do 4 summers in the feds for some shit he got caught up in. He's gonna be back in the streets. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? Well, what was the influence that got him his parole board? And by him seeing multiple parole boards, he has an immediate release from New York State. So when he actually gets 2 more summers in a halfway house, he's gonna walk right out of jail. Yeah. Yeah. Thank you for giving me the 45. That's what I'm talking about, man. Yeah, he ain't get no letter from the mayor, but there's an influence. Of course, the mayor didn't send a letter, but there's an influence. There's a dinner. There's these dinners these people go to. One thing about New York State parole, it's its own division. The New York State parole has something to do with corrections, but they're their own entity. They make their own decisions, just like these judges. They have the discretion to release you or douche you, or give you a year, or say come back in 6 months, or come back in 8 months, do this program. They have that freedom under executive law. There's 2 laws in New York State. You got the laws, then you have executive law. Read that book. That's what parole falls into. The parole board falls into executive law. So now you go to a dinner, and you're sitting there, and you're seeing the supervisors of this parole board. So I'm not going to say the mayor's involved, but just influences. Yo, son, you know, Fat Cat, he ain't a bad guy, boom, boom, boom. Even the governor of New York State is twisted over Fat Cat getting released, bro. Even the governor, how y'all release him? The governor of New York State right now saying, how y'all release them on parole? So that's how you know that parole, again, executive law, read that. Put Google executive law. Those are the laws that send me to jail. The ones that send us to jail sometimes. The B and C, that's all under executive law. The New York State, actually they call it New York State Parole and Supervision, is a different department. Even though it's all part of corrections, corrections and parole officers are 2 different things, but under the same jurisdiction, law enforcement, under corrections, like probation. Their own division. When I got released from up north, I became property of New York State parole. You know what I'm saying? You hear me? But when I violate the bylaws, they'll send me back to jail to Department of Corrections. So let's be well versed here, bro. Let's start being well versed here and just start this because Let's be well versed here. The man ain't write a letter, but believe me, he's niggas, people, somebody in a high position, a person in a high position whispered to somebody's ear, because he's seen so many parole boards, he got immediate release. If he didn't have that Fed case on his head, Fat Cat would be in the street right now. He has immediate release, party people. Immediate release. You know what happens when he go to if he do 2 summers in the feds, you're gonna probably send him to a fucking camp. He gonna get out. He gonna go to a halfway house. Yeah, facts. Facts. Y'all gotta, you know what I'm saying? Fly Mike, I like this. Definitely cheap skating. You in the building. Harlem Doubles in the building. What you Jackets in the 05. Everybody, Quijit up Quint, we're just being well versed. We're gonna stop acting like, yo, we're reading the newspapers. Yo, just maintaining what's popping. Let's stop doing that shit. Yo, I read this in the paper, it can't be facts, and I said it. Know the difference between executive law in New York State and regular laws. 2 different laws. When you break the law criminally, right, you're still part of the city laws. If I catch a sale right now in New York City, I'm property of the city of New York. It's New York City, right? I go to my arraignment. I get indicted. Once I get indicted, I become property of New York State. That's when I fall under executive law. That's when that B felony means something. That C felony means something. Once you get indicted. That's why dudes go to the grand jury for, because when you go to the grand jury, if you beat the grand jury, they kick it down to a misdemeanor, you're doing city time. That's how it goes. You become part of New York State's executive law once you get indicted. Because then it's you versus the people of New York State. That's how it goes. When you first get locked up, it's not you versus the people of New York State. It's you against the borough of Manhattan. But when you get indicted, is when you become property of the state. You go to a Supreme Court, a county court, you go to a higher court where a judge get paid a whole lot more money, and all he do is sit there and look in the air and toss little funny signs and go, oh, objection. You know what I'm saying? This is what goes on. So read the executive law. Now with the feds, I'm not clear on it. I just know that court fed trial. I read some people cases. Facts. Go read the executive law when it comes to New York State. So now somebody goes, how Fat Cat got out? And the mayor and the governor of New York State is in an uproar. How the fuck he got out? He actually was involved with killing his parole officer. He set his parole officer up because somebody whispered at $1,000 party. Now, how many people got access to these parties with these executives, with these commissioners of New York State? You got commissioners in every department. You even have a commissioner for S blocks in New York State Prison. A commissioner for just corrections in S block. S block is a different division in New York State Prison. So please, if you're going to speak about something, understand how many people can get close to a commissioner. We can. What parts are they mingling in at that I can mingle at? These are the people getting paid $150,000 a year, $200,000 a year, $180,000 a year, the commissioners. So stop acting like you niggas know the law, man. Y'all don't know the law. You're just following shit, y'all read shit, and y'all going off what the media tells you. Not one person ever said executive law in New York State. Why I gotta explain this shit for? I'm supposed to be the nigga y'all say, how am I telling y'all niggas about executive law? That's what parole falls under, the executive law. That's a law that's separated from New York State law. Why am I educating y'all for? Nobody ever said that? The reason why Casanova got caught up in the gang shit, that's some gang shit, and the feds picked it up, and he just got caught up on some wiretaps, who knows what else. We'll find out his actual case. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? In Cask, he's not being selfish, and he said, I'm willing to cop out, and no, the DA might even recommend 10 years. The judge might go, fuck it, give him 8. But he's definitely going to get that minimum. You know what I'm saying? Depends on, does he have a liberal judge, or he has a judge that hang him out. It's all on the judge's discretion. You guys got to realize it's all on the judge's discretion. When it comes to that federal shit, you Fed niggas know. The ones that copped out, your niggas know. It's all on the judge. Because they look at your PSI report versus what the DA got to say when you cop out. The DA got to say all the worst things about you. You know what I'm saying? Your PSI got to say something good. He was a good father. He was this, that, that. They take all that into account when they try to give you 20 years. If you just a scumbag, you ain't work, you ain't donate nothing, you just a nigga in the street, then you need to spend the yard with your homies then. Mel Matrix, y'all know was supposed to do more time than fucking Magoo. If you add the math up, we heard more about Mel Matrix in the street than we heard about Magoo. In the street. A lot of dudes. But he didn't, because in his PSI report, there was a lot of good that he's done. Even getting dudes record deals or rapping and promoting, whatever the case may be. He may have had somebody from a record label write a letter to him. Nah, he's good people, man. He just got caught up in the wrong world. You know what I'm saying? There's people that will fight with you, but you got to stop fucking with scumbags all day. You got to fuck with everybody. You just can't fuck with a certain region of people and expect success. It's like looking for a job. If nobody can give you a fucking resume, if you can't call nobody for a reference, why are you hanging around these niggas for? If You can't be that street. You know what I'm saying? Y'all niggas is hanging around dudes that can't even give y'all niggas a reference. But they real niggas though. You know what I'm saying? Nah, he a real nigga though. But I tried to get a job with sanitation. I hollered at him. He can't even give me a reference. He want to run. You know what I'm saying? Yo, he ain't answering his phone. Real nigga shit, man. You know, takes things into account. I'm supposed to be doing these lives with wifey too. And I'm gonna get to it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna get to the lives of me and wifey. His wifey's gonna be back into this motivation. I do this for the people, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna have wifey, whatever. We gonna do some co-hosting. So, I can't be the only voice here. That's why I'm just tired of doing all the fucking talking. Read into executive law that comes to New York State. You're gonna read this shit and go, what the fuck these niggas be talking about? You know what I'm saying? Everything is separate. Corrections, the box, parole. The only thing that parole has to do with correction is on your release. Anything that deals with releasing your ass. Whole other division. Remember, Pataki, the reason Pataki had dudes doing 85% of the time because he had an influence over the parole commissioner. So he was like, I don't give a fuck what they in jail for. Make sure that niggas CR unless they get a merit board. You blow a merit board, get a tier 3, you was CR. That's why during the Pataki era, even a little bit after, dudes is at CR. Kate Vincent had a 70 and 80% denied at the parole board. You get your papers back. Damn, I got a CR. They was making sure you did all your programs. You doing ASAP, KSAT, jumping jacks. Then Spitzer came. He got caught with something crazy. Then Patterson came in, some scandals. You know how that went down. And then they had to clean that mess. I heard parole letting mad dudes off right now. So read these laws, man, before you run online. We don't care where you sat at. We don't care where you walked at. We don't care who you think you know. Because not one person ever mentioned executive law when it comes to New York State. No, not one person. Not one person. What you think happens when you on parole and you catch a new one? Solution, says Jones. What happens when you catch a new case, right? And you got parole in the back. What you think? That parole goes away? That's why you got dudes that have like they'll cut out to a 5 and 5, but they owe parole 4 summers and they wind up doing 9 years because parole pusher, they give you more time in front. They'll do some dickhead shit and mix it, split your bid and go, boom. I know dudes that caught an extra 4 years because they owe parole 4 years. They ain't put that shit in the back, they put that shit in the bid. We're gonna mix this nigga up. It's a lot that come with that executive law, man. So a lot of you niggas that's committing these crimes in New York State, read the executive law and know what you up against. There's a bunch of law libraries. Go see the law, it's free. NYU, Columbia, oh shit, executive law. Google this shit, this executive law shit is different. And you will see it's different with executive law. It's different wording, different languages. A lawyer loves when you don't know about executive law, definitely his legal ways. They're not going to work for you. He don't even know what the fuck he's talking about. Boom, boom, boom. This is the beef mixed with the compound. Boom, boom, boom. A lot of times you got dudes that beat cases because they got the work, and when they finally got the weight of the work, it wasn't felony weight. So if you got caught with a possession and they actually took the weight, you got caught with an ounce, but that shit came back to be something less than an ounce and less than what the felony weight was, they dropped them charges with a real good lawyer. That's why they want to sell more than the possession. Because they have to weigh the work. See, with a sale, you sit outside, they throw this shit in the chemical, it come back blue. This is real work, we don't give a fuck what he sold. So read the executive law in your states. That's why they love the possession. They hate the possession. You get caught with 10 grams, they weigh that shit back. That shit come back to Flocka. That's what you're getting charged with. Listen, the work he had was boom. But your lawyer has to be well versed. Now people don't know the law because they keep following the law on Facebook and IG and these YouTube niggas. They're not following the law, really picking up a law book. A lot of them have never been to jail before. They keep listening to a nigga and they keep getting jammed up. Understand, you have to be protected. It's like It's like David Patterson. He can write a crazy book about something, but he's protected under the First Amendment laws. Why do you think these guys, these old Black Panthers and these other guys that talk about car bombers and robbing banks, they don't put the books out themselves. They go through a book company that's going to fight for, don't lock him up for this crime because it's all protected under the First Amendment. And then they might say the book is non-fiction or fiction, whatever the fuck they want to say. They're going to try to say like the story's mixed up, like Law and Order. You watch Law and Order, right? We'll see an episode ago. That's how that shit happened. But they'll make it sound like, nah, we mixed it up a little bit. It came from the New York Post, the idea, but we mixed it up. But we know 70% of that episode is probably a fact that was in the statement. You know what I'm saying? In the case. So, exactly. So with that being said, I got some things I gotta do. People do not. They do not because they following online. You don't even know what dudes is looking at. They might have told when a young thug gets locked up, they tell him his minimum, his maximum. Then he goes to court again, then they're gonna tell him his minimum and then what the DA is willing to do. That's what they do with everybody. Some dudes don't want to go to jail. Ah, fuck that. I can't do a day in jail. God just pray that none of y'all said nothing in that interrogation room that's going to come back to bite you niggas. Because a lot of dudes are fighting their own statement of norm. Yeah? A lot of dudes. Witnesses is crackheads, no real witnesses, no cameras. But the only thing they got is your statement that you wrote when you wasn't protected under the Miranda rights because you decided after the Miranda rights to sign your initials on the paper and write a fucking story. And then you go, oh, they beat me up and they forced me to write this statement and they did that. I'm not gonna say police didn't do that, but look at that DA that was in Brooklyn that was having them niggas cop out blow trial, the legal cop of getting the same crackhead to testify and shit like that. That shit is crazy. Learn executive law, man. Learn your Miranda rights. Understand. Hell yeah, yeah. Hell yeah, I got you. Understand executive law. A lot of you niggas be bugging out, man. Your Miranda rights supposed to start when they put the handcuffs on you. When they come back to the police car and go, put your hands behind your back, they're supposed to read your Miranda rights before you get in that police car. Then, when you get to the police station, they ask you, got anything to say? If you sit down, you can tell them from the bars. Nah, nigga, call my lawyer. I don't care. I gotta make one phone call. Your mama love them in the courthouse, but boom, them go come see me on the alley. You ain't gotta say you don't know what happened. I want to talk to my lawyer. You niggas thought, and I was dead, but I broke out 5 minutes. And that's the story they stick with. That's a story that's a part of your discovery that they're showing the grand jury to indict your ass. Oh, okay. You don't realize this till you go to the motion hearings, and that's the one that's the powerful hand. Your statement. Salute Rudy Lowe's in the building. It's your statement. Then when you go to trial, your lawyer, the DA is well versed. And then he's gonna break down, fuck everybody that sat on the stand today. This man said that he was arguing with him before the man got shot and he walked down the block. Do y'all believe that? Do y'all understand that this guy, that y'all sat here for 4 days and heard his life story? And if you don't have liberal jurors, and you got hang 'em high jurors, fuck it, he's guilty. He was there. And you be sitting there going, damn, I'm doing 25 years because I just didn't say I want to talk to my lawyer. And this is before the camera era. So now with this camera era, they don't even need you to write a statement. These dumb niggas walk around with their mask out, with their license plate showing, stupid, dumb, dickhead shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the Miranda rights start when they throw the cuffs on your hand. Boom. You got the right to remain silent. Then you sit in the car because you're not state property yet. You're just going through the motions. Yeah, I got anything to say? Suck my dick, nigga. Whatever. I ain't talking to you. But once you ask for a lawyer by law, they're supposed to leave you alone after that. That's by law. That's by law. That's how dudes is beating the loophole. Yo, because when they start recording these interviews, the dudes be like, I want to see a lawyer. I want to see a lawyer. And they start smacking the nigga around, back on camera, having him sit down, fuck, I give a story up. What happened? He asked for a lawyer. Why did y'all sit him back down for? But you have to have a well-voiced lawyer for that. You dudes gotta have a well-versed lawyer. Woody Lowe's in the building. Shout out to the low lives. That's where the money come at. There's a lawyer for everything. We done seen some good niggas beat trial because they ain't saying nothing. And the only witness against them is a crackhead. With mixed stories every time she come to court. You know what I'm saying? It's a fact. That's a fact. Anything you do that's that's not protected under the First Amendment rights, and you're in a life of crime, why would you do that? We knew that on the streets, no talking on the phone. That's because of wiretaps. Let's imagine now, niggas don't talk on the phone, but they talk on IG all day. You gotta make this shit entertainment. Yo, this is sponsored by Empire Records. Yo, this is what I'm saying. Such and such, such and such. Yeah, we doing it by the label. We gotta protect that. That was all entertainment wise. Gotta remember, Bobby Smurder's video, salute Smitty Brim. Bobby Smurder's video that went viral, he was not signed to a record label. Then he got signed. So that first open door, the police to pick and choose what the fuck he was talking about, there was nothing protecting that track. Because all his other music didn't really pop up in none of this shit he was talking about that was protected, that he didn't do the label. And anything he did without the label, why do you think a lot of artists don't do music without the label unless they hurting for money? Shout out to the people, we all equal. Like he said, it's not a black and white and Spanish thing as we think. It's an executive law thing. You gotta have a lawyer that's well versed. If your lawyer's not well versed, then that's why things seem a little more different. Yeah. So with that being said, I want you to think about that. And I want you to go into executive law. Do I applaud? Do I applaud Casanova? Yes. I do applaud that man. Because he wasn't thinking selfishly about his family. He's going to see his daughter at least graduate college. I salute him for that. You know what I'm saying? It took a lot for him to go, fuck this. I'm going to take that time. Young Thug, with the right lawyer, don't be scared to do a dime. I don't know how Georgia do. 20 years in Georgia might mean 5 good summers, you out of there. I don't know. But as long as you're willing to do some time, you're going to be all right, bro. This is what you signed up for, man. And actually, if you don't honestly, man, maybe you'll clean up from the drugs, man. That opiate shit is fucking you niggas up. Sometimes jail will save your life, bro. I know that monkey's on his back right now. That monkey kicking his ass. But maybe you need to save your life. Maybe your words might be more powerful when you clean up, bro. You actually clean up and get your mind together, your mind right. Like Jay-Z said, I'm doing this series called The Streets is Watching. It's going to be different topics. We're going to have callers. We're going to go live stream. This is The Streets is Watching. This is the new series that I'm doing. We're going to deal with today's lesson is learn executive New York State law before you run your mouth about New York State and their laws. New York State laws is different from executive laws. Understand the well-versed. Exactly. Clean yourself up, man. So with that being said, I appreciate you. Shout out to Southern Bell. Shout out to Keith Rucker, the Rucker family, West Side St. Louis. Shout out to everybody in St. Louis, but definitely the fam. Shout out to East Harlem, Washington Projects, Venezuela's in the building. Shout out to my man Mac Mean. There's those we gotta be. A lot of us YouTubers gotta become well versed when we talk about people's lives and freedom and understand, so we can educate you niggas. Don't do nothing that's not protected under the First Amendment laws, because then you got those companies that are fight for you. The gift and curse of being independent. See, Rock Nation come after old boy. You see how Murder Inc. beat their case, because everything that they had on them was protected. Entertainment. They'd be an entertainment company. That $300 million didn't come from Cream in the Block. That shit came from Def Jam. You hear me? You know what I'm saying? Anything that Ja Rule raps about is pure entertainment. He's an entertainer. He signed under this entertainment contract. That's because they're gonna send their lawyers out to protect First Amendment rights, because this is how they get their artists. We're gonna protect you. Don't talk too crazy, but you can rap about some shit. Remember that. Remember I told you that. Now for all you jailhouse lawyers, get into your executive law shit. Let's get it right. And stop lying to the people, man. And stop reading shit and think you know shit. And stop lying to the people, man. And stop. So a lot of you niggas is jumping on this YouTube shit. You're lying to the people, man. This might save. I ain't gonna front the way he's sipping lean and all that shit. I don't wish jail on nobody, but this is rehab for him, bro. If young Thug want to get out of jail right now, it's because he want to get high. He's not even thinking about his family. That monkey is dangerous. Y'all know that monkey dangerous. He's throwing up right now. He's sweating. He's wilding right now. The only way he's not gonna wild unless they give him some methadone or somebody sneak a bag in there or some fentanyl or a pill. That nigga like, oh shit. Him and a bunch of other niggas is throwing up right now. That monkey is dangerous. That monkey. Yeah. He ain't thinking about his family right now. He thinking about the bag. That lean. Not the bag, because I know he did the bag. But them perks. Them oxys. That's all his mind right now. And this is how they're going to fuck with him at his weakest point. So hopefully, he can fight that monkey and let them niggas manipulate him like, oh, we get you something, we get you a cup of lean, or we get you a cup of some NyQuil or some shit like that, or we get you some cigarette patch you can suck on. We know the tricks. You know, we know all the tricks. They give you a cigarette patch, but the cigarette patch you sip on it and it has fentanyl in it. We get it. Keep that in mind, man. Yes. It's Papino. With that being said, I gotta get ready. I appreciate y'all. You in the building, man. It's just another lesson learned. Let's be well versed here. I don't want to hear about what you read in the New York Post. We don't want to hear about what you read online or what you think is. Let's take 5 minutes to read executive law in New York State. So then when you speak about somebody's case, it's more diligently. It's more diligence. Why did Casanova cop out for? Because he wants to see his daughter. He wants to see his family free before he died. That's why. You know what I'm saying? He don't got time to play the appeal game. I'm not going to get 60 years and I got to come back down on the appeal and all this other shit. I'm going to get this shit over with. Because niggas is not, niggas got loved ones, bro. We keep thinking niggas supposed to be gangsters all the way. Yeah, you ain't gonna have that nigga in PC. He's shivering right now. He had a couple of lean on the other day on his live. You know that nigga throwing up. He's losing his money. They probably got him in the medical unit right now. Him and 20 other of his co-defendants. They was just partying like rock stars. You know what I'm saying? He did what he had to do, man. Just being a man, being solid. Solid to his family and not his niggas. You know what I'm saying? And he did that keeping his honor, morals, and principles intact by not telling the story on these niggas. Like, I'm going to deal with my consequences, but I'm going to go home to my daughter. When he gets out of jail, at least his daughter be graduating college or graduating high school. I salute that nigga for that. Exactly, facts. With that being said, man, shout out to my man Trey Scar. You know what I'm saying? Another dude that deals with morals, principles, integrity in the mountains. You know what I'm saying? 5'9" Brim. You know what I'm saying? South Jamaica, Queens, Southside, the Bricks, Rockaway. My man Chopper, Hood, Old Big Soul Movement, Fox, Something Boulevard. My man Sincere Woods, part of the family, Uncle Wop and all of them. You know what I'm saying? Facts. We keep thinking about the worst. These niggas is going through withdrawals crazy. The monkey is crazy right now. But somebody tell a story because they want that monkey off their back. If a nigga tell right now they got these niggas at their weakest point, forget love. These niggas is, you know what I'm saying? They going through heroin, they going through opiate withdrawals. There's nothing worse than seeing somebody go through those withdrawals. We've been in jail with them dudes that was dope fiends. They start throwing up. They start throwing up on the floor. They start falling on the floor. We've been locked up with them. They crying in their cell until they get dehydrated and they take them to the medical. Because they throw up so much they can't eat nothing. They have to take them to medical to keep them niggas hydrated. So that's what they going through right now. Unless you can sneak an oxygen, you know what I'm saying? Or a perk. Or a fentanyl patch. Or somebody got spit back. You know the spit back? We done seen real niggas, shooters, killers, drink spit out of another nigga mouth just to have that opiate in their system. Not shitting on niggas, but it's the truth. We done seen dudes sip spit back. You know what spit back is? I act like I took it, I walk away, and I spit it out, and then you drink it. There's nothing more disgusting than that, bro. But dudes be eating that monkey off their back. Niggas is paying $20,000, $30,000 to take spit out of a nigga mouth. You don't know if nigga brushed his teeth or nothing. You don't know what this nigga been doing all day. Early in the morning, here. That's what goes on in some of these jails, not just C95 and Rikers Island. Niggas got that monkey on their back. They paying $30, $20 for that shit. Yo, I need some spit back. Some of the realest niggas, killers. Damn, son, you really drank that shit? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So just keep that in mind. With that being said, I'm an hour in. I appreciate y'all. Salute to Southern Belle. I love y'all. I might come back on tomorrow morning, Friday morning. We'll do this again. The streets is watching, party people. The streets is watching. That's the series. The streets is watching. You heard? That being said, shouts to my man Hassan Campbell. You know what I'm saying? I got nothing to do with Hassan Campbell. Shout to my man Info Minds. Shout out to Queens. You know what I'm saying? We here. We do this for the people. That being said, say no to drugs in the words of Crown Courts TV. Crown TV. Find some legal shit to do. Find something legal to do. Courts TV. Find some legal to do. And stay off those medicated drugs. That shit will come back to taunt your ass. With that being said, deuces.